Capital City of the Decepticons and Transformers, and I'm a Transformers nerd. Probably before anything, but I'm also a giant World of Darkness guy. I got in back in the like early 90s. And actually Werewolf was my first World of Darkness game. So after that, we all kind of branched out. It was funny because all of us started calling dibs on the different games. So like we, one of our guys decided to try to run Wraith the Oblivion, and that was kind of tragic because it was like the guy who was least qualified to run that game was the one who bought it. So that was rough. Werewolf went on for a while. I think we actually finished.
Now you're talking tabletop.
Tabletop, yes, right. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, Werewolf. I think 2nd edition. I haven't actually looked at any of the new World of Darkness stuff, like Vampire 5th edition and the associated products that they've done for like New World of Darkness yet, and something maybe I'll be digging into later. But right now, mostly what I'm going to be talking about is like my impressions and my memories about like World of Darkness tabletop. And like I ran Vampire for 6 years after that and had a hell of a time with it. It was really, really good. Werewolf, we struggled, I remember, to find our tone. And the thing with this is that it's real easy in Werewolf games to descend into kind of like splatterpunk, which I mean it kind of lends itself to that, but also
just dark chaos, all
just murder
hobo stuff.
Total murder hobo, like it just violent, and there was a joke for a long time about it that was basically like splatterpunk Captain Planet, because you're like, oh, I'm gonna teleport into a logging operation. I'm just gonna fuck up everything in sight, and then we're gonna go home. We're gonna spirit bridge there. We're gonna kill everybody, and then we're just gonna leave like Marines, but with no guns and lots of claws.
Yeah.
So that was, and we did a few of those runs.
Claw Marines.
We had at least 4 adventures that were basically, if you reduce it down to what really happened, that's what we did. And then eventually my GM kind of caught on and started deepening the story. But for a while, he really didn't address that. But we were in high school, so I can't shit on him too much. But this game, my impressions of this game already is that it definitely, it balances in the spiritual side that often gets left behind in Werewolf. There's like shamanistic magic, you forge pacts with spirits.
Like the rage mechanic is huge.
Yes, very much
which
so.
Is a very forefront of the werewolf side of the World of Darkness, which is where the Werewolf the Apocalypse comes in, is from the World of Darkness whole family, which includes vampire, which includes a number of other
changeling, mage, and actually, the core 5 games are, of course, vampire, werewolf, mage, wraith, and changeling, and then later on they introduced like other sub games. They did a full game called Demon later on in like 3rd edition World of Darkness, which I thought really changed the cosmology a little too much, and I never picked up Demon because of that. I really liked the jump from werewolf, or from like vampire 2nd to 3rd edition, because it just deepened things. And
by the way, Werewolf 2nd edition,
right there.
What a cool looking book.
Yeah.
With lots of cool graphics, which we can't show too much of because
the
copyright.
But like the cutaway, the claw mark
so
cutaway
amazing.
There is really awesome.
Such a great book.
And just like there's lots of great artwork for some of the other ones. I've got a couple here too. I've got this is a 3rd edition book about like spirit possessed entity, like people that are taken over by different parts of the taken over by like different parts of the 3 elements of the universe, being order, chaos, and spirit. I think is how it's. Like basically Weaver, Wild, and Gaia. That's it. So you got the Earth, you've got the Weaver, which are the forces of construction and industry, like the works of man, that kind of thing, and then the worm. The worm is the corrupting element. That essentially a lot of the things you're going to run into are corrupted natural spirits or entities that have been possessed, that exude like evil and defiling aspects, like like toxic waste and things like that. They're like toxic waste spirits and things like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Basically harm the Captain Planet.
Yep, exactly. Again, yeah, we've got so, like, I mean, there's a whole ton of stuff you can get into. You can rabbit hole your way through years of this stuff if you want to. The game, like, what my impressions already.
Yeah, it originally came out in the mid-90s, I think.
Yeah,
so
90s,
there's almost 30 years of back lore, history, everything else. We really want to dig into.
And there are differences between the different editions. Like I said, the new World of Darkness stuff is done by a different publisher, but some of the same old guys are still
for those who are probably more familiar, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
Think of it like D&D. There's 1st through 5th edition.
Oh, yeah.
There's 3.5. Same kind of thing for tabletop, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Some people like 1, some people like 2, 3.
Right. And another thing that the White Wolf did too is they also did like sub games for LARP specifically. So like they had LARP equivalents of every single one of their main games.
Right.
So that's something you can also dig into as well. And you know, it can be really, really fascinating to see where they go with that. You know, and like I always thought like LARP was a little goofy when I would watch people do it, but I think, you know, if you can,
it's a hell of a lot of fun. From somebody who's done a lot of LARP and cosplay.
If you can clear that hurdle, though, I think honestly, it's got to be like one of the richest experiences you can have. So should we get started here? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. To connect all that together, what we're playing today is Werewolf the Apocalypse: Heart of the Forest. Came out October 13th, 2020. And it was developed by Different Tales and published by Walkabout and Different Tales. And they've been the ones who've done pretty much all the World of Darkness. How do we explain it? Like, choose your own adventure books, that kind of style.
Yeah,
so that's what we're going to be doing, but it keeps track of the character sheet, more like the tabletop game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mix of those,
and
where there's predetermined, but you can also build your own character.
You know, and your choices actually build your stats in this game, which I don't think I've ever seen in a Telltale style game before, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, this was as far as I know, the latest release that they did, which was about 2 years ago, but then, you know, development delays, COVID, all that good stuff.
Right.
But this has been, and by the way, we've only played roughly half an hour of this just to get audio levels set, to see how the game functions, how it flows, you know, to make sure everything's good for you guys on the stream.
Yeah.
And recording. So, we're about to get into it though. And here's the catcher, right? So there's an overlay enabled on Twitch right now. So you can influence our choices. Your votes will get into the game.
Oh man. Okay.
So we're gonna start a brand new game. Right, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
maybe we're good, maybe we're bad.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Maybe we're somewhere in between. You can only have one save slot on here at a time, which is unfortunate.
We're gonna have to ride this thing to the end, I guess. We're gonna have to see how it goes.
Oh yeah, see if the wheels fall off.
Yep.
I love the artwork for these splash screens.
Yeah, that's really...
Like, look at this owl's creepy fucking eyes right here.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And whatever's going on over here.
A whole bunch of them, you know? I mean, and that could be...
And the things that you can't see.
They could be like wild spirits and stuff, like the actual spirits of the forest are present and watching you.
That is also another major tenant in the Werewolf and... Well, especially Werewolf, but the World of Darkness games... is that nature is a very constant thing, a primal thing.
You are interacting
that has its own force.
Yeah, you are interacting with spirits that verbally or in other ways commune with you, and you actually get your powers, some of your powers from exactly those spirits. Like you pick like a, usually the group in a werewolf game is a pack, and a lot of the times they'll have a pack totem, and that totem spirit will convey certain gifts, but then also have bans on your behavior, like you can't do certain things, or if you do certain things you could sever that connection.
Yeah, or you get drastic negatives for X amount of days or time.
Right, exactly. Your role is defined by a lot of things in that game. It's your, like all World of Darkness games have nature and demeanor, which are your inward nature, which is how if you act according to that you get your willpower points back, which give you automatic successes. And then your demeanor, which is your outward action, your outward personality. But then also in Werewolf, you have your tribe, You have your breed, which is
similar to like your clan and stuff in Vampire.
Exactly. So your culture is your tribe. So, like, for example, the Shadow Lords are from like the Carpathian forests through Russia. So, like, they're gonna be. And honestly, I think based on where, because I think this game actually takes place in Romania, I'm pretty sure that the character is a Shadow Lord. I'm pretty sure that's what tribe the protagonist in this game belongs to.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
There's,
let us know what you think.
Yeah. But like, there's tribe. There's the sign, the phase of the moon that you're born under. There's, again, the personality stuff I talked about, as well as your breed. How much wolf are you versus how much man are you? So there's like Hamid werewolves that are born of a human and a werewolf. There's lupus werewolves that are a wolf and a werewolf. Or sometimes you get two werewolves. They're not supposed to do it, but sometimes if two werewolves breed together, they get what's called a metis, which usually they come out deformed or at the very least crazy.
Yeah, and that's usually like you're straight up 100%, not necessarily man killer, but that's generally what they call it.
So you're supposed to
no control over the humanity.
Yeah, actually, menace werewolves do have control, but sometimes they struggle with it more than others, partially because they come out stunted or weak or like deformed or something, and then they're treated like garbage. Think
like Nosferatu if you're equating this with vampire terminology. If you're not familiar with werewolf as much.
Yeah, exactly. That's one way to look at it. And obviously werewolves very much they're more oriented towards strength and things like that. I mean, there are other. Some of the other moon signs can convey certain roles, like the gibbous moon is a galliard, which is like a bard, honestly.
Right, and then you have the
Philodox, which is the judges. That's the half moon. You have the Ragabash, which is no moon. Like the.
And I don't remember the name, but there's basically, well, in D&D it's the circle of the moon, but.
Yeah.
The group that's like just communicated to nature, like, hey, we protect nature, we protect the forest.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a druidic vibe that runs through Werewolf, like, period. Regardless of whether you're like, if you're a full moon, you're what they call an Arun, which is a warrior. Which I'm sure like some of the other games that have been done probably tap into more of that side of the, werewolf sort of class, like what sort of personality makeup you have.
That is one of the things I would love to touch on is the World of Darkness games always put a big emphasis on the humanity side of things. Mm-hmm. Not just you're an overpowered killing machine.
Yeah.
You're this ancient vampire that's lived for 1,000 years. You're somebody struggling with something every single day.
Well, that was the
every single
mechanic.
person you see is a draw.
Well, the very concept with Vampire was that it's a game of personal horror because you're the monster. And so, and they actually built a mechanic in, if your humanity gets too low, you lose access to the higher levels of your powers, and you become more physically bestial looking, and you can't control your predatory urges, and eventually other vampires have to hunt you down and kill you to keep all of humanity from finding out.
Well, or at least enter you into torpor.
Yeah, they'll at least they'll just beat you until you fall asleep.
Like, okay, we're gonna let you nap for 1,000 years, and we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, and if you do this again, we're gonna have to put you down, Bunky. All right, shall we?
So we're gonna launch into this. We're gonna start a brand new game straight off.
Right on. Here we go. So we got our stats up at the top there.
This is a game about rage and how it helps us do things that need to be done, as well as what we later regret. Sometimes both. How do you feel about that? Alright, chat. So this is where you can chime in, cast your votes on the overlay, and now we tallied into how we decide we are going to play.
Yep.
So what do you think? Are you an angry son of a bitch? Is it a tool, or are you the calm, collected
Or is it something you resist?
I think angry one is useful.
That's kind of where I'm landing. What do we think, people? Anybody?
We got 2 votes for the same.
All right, cool.
Alright, mage balance. So you're the critical and analytical type. That's okay. There's no right path here. Just your decisions and their consequences. Which, this game is very much like we've expressed, a choose your own adventure book. You know, back when you read it in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of experience. Alright, so let's start already. I get it, my decision to be fair or follow past to see where it takes us. Let's get started already.
Alright.
I'm impatient. How about you guys? Oh, we got 1 point in inspiring.
Okay.
The woods are full of stars. They flicker. Come closer. Run away. They want me to chase them to play hide and seek. And I believe we click this. Yeah, this is our character sheet. So this gives us our current stats. And
these aren't actually stats in the World of Darkness. This is something kind of unique to the game, but it does impact. It's kind of like that one that Silent Hill game they did for the Wii, where like it would actually like track what you look at and what you settle on visually. I think it's kind of something like that.
It gives you more or less pluses or minuses to certain actions.
Yeah.
And notice there is a time up here, which is very important for not only the moon phase, but the time of year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're a hunter.
I could do that.
What do you think? Alright, we also have 1 vote for a hunter.
Okay.
So I guess we're a hunter.
Cool. So
Now we got lots of stats.
That's cool. That's cool.
You want to take some of these?
Yeah, sure. They dance around the tree trunks, float up on the gusts of wind that shiver through the branches, disappear among the good writing. Disappear among the leaves. I let out a howl, eager to run with them. I want everyone to know I'm there. When they bunch up and fly toward me, then they bunch up and fly toward me like an arrow, rushing down. They're soon upon me, but just before the spear of light pierces my breast, they disappear, and the dark of the night returns. In the darkness, so here's our little flavor text for being balanced.
Yes, so this is what we picked previously.
In the darkness, I feel the tangled roots of stories keeping the forest alive, and I hear the spirits asking me to judge the enemy. I open my eyes, and then I wake up, I guess.
Cold and alone. Confused, I open my eyes. The forest around me is thick, dark, and reeks of decay, to such an extent that it's hard to breathe.
Ooh.
So, does the smell fascinate us? Or I recognize it? Or why the hell am I here?
Yeah.
So, to me, what that means is 1, we're just curious.
Yeah.
2, we're old as hell. And we're elder. So that's why we recognize.
Or it could be ancestral memory.
Or we're brand new, and we don't know why I'm here, what we're doing, what's going on. We don't even know that we changed.
Look up in the upper corner too. Actually, the indicator there, it says Hamid. That means we know that the character's name is Maya, and we know she's a Hamid werewolf.
We can also look at her stats as well, and her condition.
But no, we know what breed she is. We know that she is born of a werewolf and a human. So we know that, based on what they've already told us. Yeah, I don't know. I sort of like almost like the amnesiac protagonist personally a little bit.
Why am I here?
I kind of like that for this. But
we can roll with that. I don't know if it fits with, like, I hunt.
Do you want to do?
You know, hunt's more of an instinct, I guess. So that fits in a way.
Yeah. Okay.
My head is spinning. Why am I here? There must be a reason. The tree trunks, wrapped tightly in dark-leaved ivy, are covered in ripples of lichen, where the vines haven't taken hold. The thorny, leafless bushes at their base are overrun with nettles. The fungi radiate with a ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark, sponge-like mushrooms cling to the fallen trees.
I love it. The writing is really good here.
I actually want to see who the writer of this is. Like, I'm assuming it's somebody at the developer. Yeah. But kudos.
Nicely. Yeah, this is very evocative. And I mean, the ambient music helps too. I think the ambient music and the sound effects are very well placed.
Hopefully this doesn't get tagged as copyright and we can actually have the music included. But for the live stream, you guys get it.
Yeah. I kind of liked Something is Rotten just because of the way that they're describing the trees and stuff personally. But we've got I Try to Breathe, I'm Cold.
Everything's broken, it's ghoulish, it's green. Like,
covered in fungus.
That makes sense, yeah.
There's a corrupt thing here in this forest.
I think between the two of us, we should come up with a voice for a character.
Ooh, well, God, I don't know, because Maya, obviously, that's a lady's voice. I don't know if we'll figure it out.
You think this is a lady's voice?
Maya, the character is named Maya, so. Anyway.
Oh, this is us? I thought this was another character.
That's us.
Well, damn,
we are Maya.
We are a pretty lady.
We are darling.
Nice.
All right.
I mean, I don't know if we're pretty, but we're pretty badass.
Here, I'll pick up here. I can't shake the feeling that something died nearby. I look down and see my hands covered in a dark substance. I'm naked. A sticky, glistening film of liquid is clinging to my skin. I can feel it on my face, in my hair. Blood.
So that right now is super evocative writing. Where the final sentence alone is just blood. Yep. That's straight into your dome. That's like, whoa, this is what's happening.
Well, and that gets into, again, that beast within horror that's at the center of most werewolf tales is that lycanthropy is a curse and it can't be controlled unless you make that effort. That goes all the way back to like classic film and even stories before that is the idea of someone who is a predator who can't help themselves.
Right, and I know right now is a very touchy subject about things in general, but we're just talking about the world of darkness specifically here and the lore. Yep. So let me throw it out there. And the fact that almost every werewolf that I can think of in World of Darkness, except for maybe the superiors, transform and end up naked.
Actually, no, you can dedicate your clothing. There's a thing. And it's like if you see in what we do in the shadows, when like Laszlo and Nadia turn into bats, that their clothes like appear and disappear. Like when they're in bat form, they're not dressed as anything.
I thought that was just a PG-rated thing.
Oh no! It's in Werewolf. You can dedicate your clothing so that it disappears when you change, and then comes back. So you don't have to like Hulk bazooka through your pants, when you turn into your war form.
See, even I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Not that I'm that smart guy. He's the guy.
I just played this stuff years ago as a teenager. That's all. But I remember that being super, super convenient. Even though I played a lupus werewolf, he was part of the Red Talon tribe, so he was more wolf than anything, and he hated everything. He was it was weird because I didn't have a good core concept for him. So he was a waning Ragabash, which was a no moon, like faded moon, and so he's supposed to be a trickster, but his tribe was so warlike that I couldn't reconcile those two things very well. So mostly he would just play with stuff before he killed it is what he would do.
Sounds fair.
Yeah. So I mean that was the best I could muster.
Alright, but for right now, here's our stats. We have 3 out of 5 rage.
Yep, 2 willpower.
2 willpower. Oh, by the way,
it's got flavor.
So rage describes your supernatural anger. Be careful when you rage. Allows her to overcome obstacles, but makes her aggressive and hard to control. Willpower, go ahead.
It's a pool of points that you can spend to form actions that were difficult for Maya. Particularly, willpower can be used to prevent the effects of high rage. You regain willpower, at least in this game, when you pursue your goal. When your willpower goes down to 0, you are impaired and unable to perform hard mental and social actions. That follows.
Health, goes down to 0, you're impaired. So you don't die, but you basically get knocked out and you can't really do anything.
Yeah, you can't do certain things. So, cool.
Alright, so we're a naked lady.
In the woods.
That smells like rot. We're glistening full of blood.
So let's see here. So
I'm pretty sure we're fucking alert.
Yeah, I think
we're just we're on high alert. What's going on?
Yep.
What's happening? I don't know.
Right on. Spiritual. Okay.
Nature is never quiet. Leaves rustle in the wind. Small creatures scuttle in the undergrowth. There's a whisper. I don't understand what it means, but the word resonates in my head.
Goro.
Who said that? There's a severed head right in front of me. So this
All right,
green
so now
text.
we gotta figure out what we want to do here. Are we gonna
This green text means this will use 1 point of our willpower if we use this.
we touch the
and
head,
this will
lose us rage.
lose or gain rage depending on
yeah.
what it is. So we have to make a choice here.
Yeah, do we pick up the head and lose a little willpower, hoping we get it back, or do we risk a point of rage by Ralphing on the possibly on the severed head?
I wish we could see like whose head it was or what it was.
I'm voting. I personally, I want to do the willpower spin, but what are people saying?
Right now, a lot of nothing. So
Okay.
it's gonna be all our decision.
Okay, all right. Well,
So whatever happens, it's all your guys' fault because you didn't say nothing.
we'll try to do these live, like not in the middle of the night at some point.
Yeah, well, you know, it's after dark, so
Yes.
the only people paying attention, maybe you're already werewolves.
Or vampires.
I mean, there's a severed head. Like,
I want to.
we don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
like,
and we've already established that this is an alert, predatory character. So, I think we got to go with the first choice.
all right, we're gonna lose all willpower.
Yep, I think we'll get it back
But
though.
hey, let's see what happens. I love the new splash screen.
Oh,
like,
that's
that comes
nice.
in. That looks freaking amazing.
That's so
The
cool.
artist for this,
Well, that's got to be like
Props.
photo manip. I think that's probably a real actor that they did a photo manip on.
oh,
So, yeah.
I'm not saying it's not.
That's cool. All right, overcoming my disgust, I gently touch its wet hair and watch as the head topples over. The face is contorted, the eyes bulging, the mouth opened as though the head were still struggling for air. I balk because I recognize who it is, and then the eyes opened in the darkness. Then eyes opened in the darkness. Ooh.
If you guys are wondering, by the way, why some things are highlighted or not, it's two things, right? It's a new thing called phonetic reading, where it triggers your eyes to the important things for people who have ADHD, other,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
other, effects, and it's two things as well. So that was the first, and the second thing is also just to highlight important character decisions. So it's actually twofold, and it's gonna be a thing moving forward in even actual print books.
Oh really? Okay.
Yes,
I think that's great. I think that
I work in print, so
yeah. Well, I mean, and that's when you think about like ADHD or when you think about other like focus related disorders or difficulties that people have, that's a great adaptive tool. I had no idea people were doing that in publishing. That's fascinating.
yeah, they title it adaptive reading.
I think that's wonderful. I really like that. I think that's really, really great because I know tons of people that would read more if it were easier for them to focus,
And we will give you an example of this, by the way.
God,
But
that just opens up so many
it's
things.
fantastic.
It opens up so many things.
I think it's great.
No, I'm just thinking about like just my own bookshelf at home. Like there are all these books that like they could go back through and do adaptive editions of them just to make them more, more accessible to people.
And then everybody makes more money because you get to print more books.
Yeah.
Or more copies of your own
and
books.
everybody gets to read fucking Alfred Bester or any of the other, really great authors that I don't think anybody knows about.
Or like some of the other more known about ones. Like, I'm a big Stephen King fan.
I don't want them to do an adaptive version of Charlie Jacob because she's the grossest horror writer I know. Like grosser than Poppy Z. Bright. And
Alright, back on task.
Sorry. Don't get me wrong. I like both of those authors. They're just hard to stomach sometimes.
Alright, so
Okay, so we got the eyes open in the darkness. Not the head. The head's eyes don't open, but we've got eyes opening in the darkness, and it's.
I think we're aware either it be an enemy or who it is. Like, if we already know who it is, why would we be asking?
Yeah, good point.
So I think it's the enemy.
All right, let's do it.
I can see their silhouettes, shades of jet black against the darkness. They reek of metal, and acid and oil and money. Massive creatures, some with mandibles, some with spidery legs. Their faceted eyes burn like small industrial furnaces. I look at them, and something wakes inside my chest.
I'm gonna do a quick sidebar about this because they definitely are telling us that these are worm creatures with how they describe them. The worm, again, that's the entropic force in the world of darkness. It breaks down things. It uses dead things. It repurposes them so that nothing stays static. The Weaver makes things static. The Wild generates it. That's Gaia generating life and form. The Weaver gives it form, and the worm breaks it down. And the problem with the point of the world, where the world of darkness is by the time Werewolf of the Apocalypse is happening, is that the worm has gotten too strong and it's killing the planet. So these are worm creatures. Anyway, so man, we either go with panic or cold fear.
We definitely don't fucking panic at all.
No, I don't think so.
Like, come on.
We've established. I think
we've been like, hey,
with what role
we're
playing
figuring out
we've
what's
done.
going on.
Yeah. We're gonna. Yep, it's cold fury.
Right, chat?
All the way. Analytical, nice.
Their entire existence is wrong, an abomination to the natural order. They have been judged and found lacking. I straighten up, ready to carry out my sentence. In a moment of clarity, I must understand what the forest wants from me.
And then I wake up.
It was all a dream? So, if you haven't played the board game at all, a big part of how it works for character creation is you have a dream, which basically lets you test out your character abilities. Or at least that's how I've always played it.
We didn't do it that way for me, but I also, again, my character started off as more animal than human, so he just kind of like, I forget what his origin was now, but we didn't do a dream sequence. I know that. I just know that, like, we kind of established a few core things. Again, this was also like a bunch of 16 or 17-year-olds sitting around like, well, I don't know, I want to be like the big one, you know, stuff like that. Like, one of my dearest friends, and honestly, one of the most gifted role players in my.
See, like right now,
yeah,
Pikachu is the biggest werewolf here.
Yeah. Nice. God, that reminds me. I have a.
He's always one when we go to boss fights. We get chat to rub Pikachu.
Nice.
Build a set of charge.
I've actually got a figure. It was a Duel Masters or something. It's some goofy card game. They made action figures for it, but they made this really sick werewolf figure, and I have it just because it's a sick werewolf action figure, and I'll have to bring it for one of these. But anyway, yeah, like I don't remember any dream sequences, but you definitely can do things like that especially if you have a Hamid werewolf. It makes a lot of sense for them to have dreams about their werewolf side before it fully emerges. That makes a ton of sense from a narrative structure, from a narrative standpoint. So
right on.
I never did that, but that's because my dude was more dog than anything, you know?
That's fair. Oh, by the way, this is coming from somebody who's run 24+ years of like.
I've been playing role-playing games since I was 13, and I'm going to be 45 in about a month and change. So yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. I ran vampire for 6 years.
Let's delete that message.
Yeah. What was it?
It was immediately after you said I've done lots of stuff.
Oh.
We're not going to bring back up.
Well, world. No.
You can get his private number later, right?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny.
It's a public
holding
stream,
here, by the way. This is one of the books for. I want to try and not get glare on it. This is a book for actually playing.
Bring it up here. It'll autofocus.
Playing worm corrupted creatures in Werewolf. So if you want to do that, this was one of their mature imprint games. Okay. Yep. There we go.
All right, we're gonna grab a screen grab for everybody here. We'll send it out to you after the stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is kind of a tough book to find, actually.
But you can get PDFs of it.
Oh yeah.
Legally.
You know, I actually haven't looked to see what's available now. I haven't. I was a book hoarding weirdo for a really long time before I even knew like they did digital role playing books, and I still prefer the physical product. You know.
Yes and no.
As
I like
much
both.
of a bitch of it is to move, like when I moved last summer, oh god, like my gaming library just about broke my back.
Like, I love being able to look something up with Control F and be like, hey, what's this do?
True.
Like, okay.
True. Yeah. There's some utility there.
That's why I have both, right?
I think I just need to get like a really bitchin' tablet, I guess, or something. All right, shall we?
All right. Next chapter. Ready?
Let's do it. All right.
You want to take it?
Sure. Maya, wake up. I jerked upright, irritated. My neck was stiff, and the movement sent a sudden sharp wave of discomfort through my body. I wasn't in the forest anymore. I was in a bus. The sun streaming through the windows was making it hard to see. The girl next to me was touching my shoulder, disturbed.
So our rage is high as fuck right now.
Yeah.
We're angry.
And we've got really low willpower.
So if we do this, it will spend some willpower
we have
again,
left, and it might cripple us.
And then
so we got a tough one here.
this is because we're so aggro right now.
Yeah.
That we can do it, but this will make us even more susceptible to just raging out and maybe killing our friend in the frickin' van.
Yeah, this might, I mean, it might, I think if we might piss the girl off, but we're not going to kill her. We're not going to kill her, so I think we should do that.
We're not frickin' murderers, right?
Not yet, anyway.
All right, chat, right? Okay, great.
All right. Uh-oh. Now she's cautious.
Without a second thought, I pushed her away, adrenaline surging through me. When rage is high, you might say and do things you might later regret. What's wrong with you? She recoiled, looking hurt and scared. It was a little while before she said anything. You were screaming. I blinked. The memory of the dream was still there. I slowly unclenched my fist. Look outside or...
Glad you're not alone.
Are we driving a fucking ice cream truck?
Yeah. That's probably some like pre-Soviet bloc fucking, or like.
I mean, character-wise, I think we just look outside.
Probably, yeah. That's kind of what I would.
Like, I'm pretty sure we're glad we're not alone,
but I think more it's the I think.
Maya, that's what's up. See? We found out more.
We got a last name.
Maya
Borodich.
24 years old, student, American.
Yep, we got some stats. And
healthy and cautious.
Well, no, her relation with Anya, her friend, is now Anya is cautious. So it's going to track our progress socially with characters. That's neat too.
All right, let's look outside.
Sounds good. I must have bitten my lip, I thought as I ran my tongue over my teeth. The forest outside the window was watching me. The girl next to me shook her head. Thank God, we're almost there. Her name was Anya. We'd met a couple weeks earlier on the orientation day. She was from Norway, a tall, broad-shouldered, calm person who wore her long hair in braids. Somehow I'd managed to talk her onto this crazy field trip across the land of my ancestors. All right, so we were there to study medicine.
Or Anya's cautious.
Are we focused just on us, or are we focused on Anya? I guess is the question. Do we want to... I mean, I imagine this early in the game, the stakes aren't super high, but it's still... I think the role-playing aspect of it is important.
I mean, it's definitely going to carry over.
Yeah, for sure. What do you...
Like, now the moon's over, it's waxing.
Waxing gibbous, yep. Mm-hmm. Or was it waning gibbous? What did it say?
Waxing.
Yep, cool. It's a Galliard moon.
Well, let's go with she's having second thoughts.
Yeah, let's play into the Anya thing.
We gotta make sure she's okay. Anya reached into her backpack and took out an apple. She turned away from me and bit into the fruit. Who the fuck is just like, you know what? Unless you're on a desert island. Like, what is that shit? Like, that's weird.
It's probably a Norwegian thing. Apologies to any Norwegians out there. Don't get me wrong, I'm a black metal guy. I love Norway. But,
I reached into my bag and fished out a bunch of cabanossi?
Yeah.
Dried meaty sausages that were so much better than the original Polish ones back in the US.
Are we in Poland?
Anya's cautious. Anya still looked like she regretted meeting me. People often did, actually. Girl, you're a lot to handle, she said after a lengthy silence. I'm not sure if I have the bandwidth for so much drama in my life. Wow, she sounds millennial as fuck.
She's kind of chilly,
Why are we in the car with this woman to start with? Is my question. I mean, we only have one choice, so.
Yep. Alright. Our summer language course was starting in a few weeks, and I'd managed to talk Anya into skipping the tours of concentration camps and old churches and visiting,
National Park.
Yeah, no, it's the, Białka or Białowieżka National Park with me instead. Anybody who speaks Polish, please help us. Remind me, why are we here again? She asked with her arms crossed. Onward.
Good question.
Why were we there?
Why were we there? There being that B word.
Yeah.
A small village in northeast Poland, near the border with Belarus.
Belarus, yep.
It was famous for its national park, the very last European bison. And according to a quick web search, occasional tensions between far-right troublemakers and the local Belarusian community.
Yeah.
The most honest answer would have been, because I've been dreaming about the forest and
Since I
the
can
bee
remember.
place since I can remember. People didn't understand when I said things like that. I looked her in the eyes.
So let's see here. I don't think we want to
So we
blow
can keep it simple, we can tell her as much as we could, or we can lose more willpower and tell her everything.
Do we want to drop the mask a little bit, or do we want to? I kind of like the middle choice a little bit. I think that,
Like, we're a hunter, why would we tell her everything?
no, we can, and yeah. I mean, mostly, I'll admit I'm kind of stat mongering by doing that, but so that's kind of meta rather than role playing. But I also think that we're guarded anyway.
Or keep it simple so we get most people on our side.
That's a good point.
Like,
too.
yeah, I don't know why I'm going here, but I'm going here.
Yeah, this nascent werewolf already knows that she freaks people the hell out, so there's that. But I don't know. Like, the idea of having some level of, confidence with this character also sort of appeals to me. But I don't know if that's more. I think it's more me than role playing. You know what I mean?
So which one are you leaning towards?
Oh God, I am still leaning towards the middle a little bit. The bottom one straight out. I just don't think that, because they're like, hey, guess what? I dream
I'm aware of. She's like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of my car!
Yeah, like I dream about severed heads and and glowing fungus and nom on your face.
Mana.
So I don't know. Is anybody weighing in on this or?
Not currently.
Okay. What do you think?
I'm thinking tell her as much as I could.
All right, cool. Let's see what happens.
Like, keep her in the dark. Keep her safe. Like, maybe werewolves don't attack just regular people just out of the freaking blue.
All right.
I wanted to see the forest. I heard it was a must. That wasn't technically a lie. When I was little, my grandfather told me stories about an ancient forest full of wonders and the wolves that lived there. It was all I got from that part of the family before my mom ran away and cut off all contact with my dad.
Oh man.
But I remember the stories well. I remember the name of the forest. That thing that you can read in chat. This will always be our home, my grandfather used to say. I waited for her to respond.
Anya fell silent for a moment, but she still looked like she regretted coming with me. I think we should split up for a while, she said finally. I already have a list of places I want to see. I'd just slow you down. What a nice way to say fuck off. And that was precisely why I needed to do something, anything about my future, that damn forest, and my weird-ass family. I had a clear goal in mind. Suck it, Anya. Oh, wait. I wasn't there by mistake. I'd planned this trip for months with a clear goal in mind. I had to face the forest, learn the truth about my roots, or figure out my destiny. I kind of like the middle one, but the vision questy face the forest thing is kind of cool too.
I mean, face the forest seems
that's kind of abstract.
Like moderate as far as like, okay, about my roots is whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's this family mystery now that's also been popped up about, oh shit, you know, my mom grabbed me and fled the country, you know.
Yeah, like, oh hey, my dad was, I don't know.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to say that word and. Yeah, that's the thing.
Our blood is in the soil. No, that's a fake, dumb Transylvanian accent. Never mind. I don't know how to. You know, this sucks because one of my good friends
stay a while. And
yeah. Like, I gotta call up one of my buddies and I gotta talk to his wife a little bit. 'Cause she's from Poland. So anyway, I kind of like the. I sort of like the concrete, learn the truth about my roots stuff. The top choice is cool
lean towards
too.
that as well.
Yeah. Like,
so let us know what you think. We're gonna take a 5 here, chat. So after pulling the results, we think between you and us, we're gonna learn about my roots.
All right. So now we have a goal.
My grandfather's stories. The secrets. My mother running away. There was a mystery in my past. It was time I uncovered the truth about who I was. But now I wasn't so sure if it had been a good idea. Welcome home? Anya took her luggage and disappeared as soon as we got off, leaving at the deserted bus stop. Okay, so Anya's gone. That's you.
Bialochka, that's how I'm gonna land on it. Bialochka looked like an overexposed photo of a village with the contrast turned all the way up. The sun wasn't just shining, it was shouting at the earth and everything. The trees, the grass, the wooden houses, the fences seemed weathered. Everything except the shadows. They were sharp as though they were freshly printed with the darkest of inks. And they moved. Hey.
Sorry it had to happen.
All right. For a second, I could have sworn they moved, but then I realized it was just a black cat walking down the sidewalk. When it saw me, it stopped in its tracks. So we've got an omen here. We've got a black cat. So I decided to ignore it. I watched it with suspicion, or I tried to pet it. What are we doing with the cat, folks? Anybody got any feedback here?
What kind of cat is it?
It's a black cat. Just a black cat.
You know what the superstition says?
Yeah. You could watch it with suspicion, given that.
I feel like we would be slightly superstitious based on the fact that we're just like, on the floor.
I would say either ignore or watch it with suspicion is what I think would be appropriate. I think the watching with suspicion is probably the way
Suspicion!
I think we got.
Like, we know we already shape change into stuff. Maybe.
The
kind
cat
of.
could be something.
In the dream.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's this cat gonna do?
Yep.
Were rabid cats a thing? I wasn't sure. But I definitely wasn't interested in finding out the hard way. I looked around. A friend was supposed to pick us up from the bus stop, but he wasn't there. And the cat was still staring at me. For a moment, I was tempted to just get out of the sun and worry about my missing friend later.
So either we can go with the high rage, I stormed off, but the meeting was just too important. I think we've already lost one companion. I think the idea of Maya running around with nobody is potentially bad.
Yeah, but character-wise,
True.
We're fucking pissed.
True.
We're raged. Now there's a cat for some reason? Why the fuck is there a cat here? Like, it's black. I don't know what's going on. This is bullshit. Like, she fucking left. Now I'm mad. Because I'm by myself.
I mean,
fuck this shit.
I mean, you got to think, at least for the way this is designed, that there are going to be, again, it's early. We're going to, we might have other relationships or other connections that establish later, so we're not going to, screw ourselves either way. So there's that. So, yeah, I mean, you know what?
Let's play into the fucking rage.
Let's do it.
We're fucking raging.
Look
at our stats. This is as high as it gets.
Yep. All right. I grabbed my backpack and started walking. I hate when people are late, I muttered under my breath. After some time, I heard hurried footsteps behind me.
It's a dude.
Maya, wait! It was Bartek. Late, flustered, and apologetic. It was his dad's company, he explained, while catching his breath. He'd had to help him out with some paperwork. High rage, I really didn't care, or I said nothing.
Fucking high rage. Come on.
Yeah, we're yeah.
We don't even know who the fuck this guy is. Come on.
Listen, cousin Balky from fucking Perfect Strangers. No, anyway.
Or what reminds me of is Bride Tag from Red Sonja.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
I like that. I just
Sorry we did ourselves there.
I just wanted to mention Bronson Pinchot.
You're late, I snapped. And there was something in my voice that made him take a step back. He was tall, broad shoulders, and had freckles all over his face.
Oh, what a dish.
Come on, I'll take you to your place. His accent was broad and very Eastern European. I should have read that first. I don't do accents, sorry.
No, that's fine.
So, I flooded him with questions. Ani would have liked him, or I caught him looking at me. Clearly, he'd be looking at us. We're a fucking fruitcake.
Yeah. So we can either question him or we can flood him. I like the questions, kind of. I like that.
Flood him with questions?
Yeah.
Luckily, he loved talking about his home. So when I flooded him with questions, he kindly obliged. He talked about how the village had become a tourist destination, how the logging industry had moved to a nearby town, how the trains had stopped coming, and how the local train station turned into a hotel for wealthy foreign hunters. Dozens and dozens of bison statues scattered around the village watched us indifferently. We walked along the only street in the village, slowly making our way toward the outskirts. The trees were growing denser, their scent becoming richer and more pronounced.
Okay. Alright, let's see what we've got. So, did you...
we gotta go!
Yeah! So, did you manage to trace the name I gave you, I asked? Bartek shook his head. Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nothing, absolutely nothing, sorry. He was avoiding my eyes. A trickle of sweat ran down his temple. He was lying straight to my face. What the fuck, man? I threw my arms in the air. You wrote to me a few days ago that you had something, but he just clammed up. You know what? I think you should drop it. I stopped, and then we've got, that was the final straw, and unleashed all my charm, or I felt hurt.
That's all you got? What the fuck, man? Come on.
I didn't know if I should shout into your mic.
Why? It's got anti-clipping. It's fine.
Alright, what the fuck, man?
So now what do we do? Now, we're all fucking hyped up on our rage.
Oh,
I think we're gonna kill somebody if we don't chill and unleash all our charm. Do vampires or werewolves have a charm factor like vamps do?
You can seduce if you're a creature in the world of darkness. Period. You have seduction capable. I think wraiths can seduce each other, but it doesn't happen much because they're everybody's dead. Changelings definitely they're trying to hump everybody, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think the charm thing is the way to go. I think the hurt might be the response, but
we're fucking raged though.
Yeah, I just wonder if we're gonna if pushing him is gonna get us. Oh God, I don't know.
We're fucking angry as shit.
Yeah.
Do you see these numbers right here?
Yeah.
Here, look at our character sheet.
Okay, so.
Okay, it doesn't show rage, but.
But if you pursue the goal, you get willpower back. So that's kind of.
Yeah, but it's a mystery goal.
Yeah, I know that. But like, I think expressing like, our hurt might be a way to move this forward.
See, one thing I hate about these type of games is this is so generic. You don't know if this is gonna be like, all right, fuck you, and walk away, or murder him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's like,
damn.
Are we gonna kill this dude or what? Anybody weighing in?
It's a negative. It's all on us.
All right.
They're waiting.
I'm going hurt.
Going hurt?
I'm going hurt. Sweet.
All right. We'll play the girl card. We're analytical now. This is you.
I turned to Bartek and looked him right in his eyes. That's a bit unfair, don't you think? I sighed. It was a long, uncomfortable ride, and I only came here because you said you had something. Game tracks your decisions on how Maya approaches problems. They will accumulate and gradually reveal the type of person she is deep in her heart. The story changes to reflect Maya's personality. Well, he brushed his forehead with the back of his hand. I did ask. I started with the old people here. I told them that my friend from the States was looking for her roots and wanted to know about the place her family came from. You know the drill. At first, people were very, receptive. I waited for the other shoe to drop. Go ahead.
It sounds like bullshit. People aren't very receptive first when you ask somebody like, oh, what's going on here?
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe. Rich American come to bring money back. Then I mentioned your name. I urged him to continue, or I needed a moment to calm down. What do you think? Do we drop a little rage, or do we urge him to continue? I personally think the first choice, but.
Well, yeah, we've been like raging. We're not trying to kill him, but like we're trying to figure out shit.
Like spit it the fuck out, man.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Bartek, no dramatic pauses, please. I urged him. The tension is killing me. Okay, that writing is pretty bad, but one of the old men here told me to go to hell. The other spat on the ground, and his wife crossed herself. For a moment, he looked younger and smaller. And then my own grandmother told me to stop asking. She said something else as well. Well, fucking spit it out! What? I asked. She told me to pray for you. Suddenly the sweet golden afternoon wasn't so sweet and golden anymore. I think we're still fucking pissed. Like, he said nothing to stop this, and we've tried twice.
Yep. Furious.
Alright, we're fucking mad as shit. I felt anger boiling somewhere deep in my heart. How dare they? I didn't need their prayers. We walked in silence. My mind was in overdrive. People didn't want to talk. That could only mean one thing.
All right.
I was on the right track.
And we get a willpower point back. Nice. People are scared of the family. Okay. My pulse quickened and I tensed up like a hound that smelled blood. I was on the right track.
Every time you learn to do something significant that brings you closer to your goal, you're gaining willpower.
All right. Bielishka had a few hotels and hostels, but the preferred form of accommodation was bed and breakfast. That's where we stayed. I found one that was nice, clean, and had good reviews. We had a room on the second floor with a huge window and a great view of the forest. I dropped off my stuff and freshened up a bit. Bartek said a few hasty goodbyes and disappeared, and Anya was nowhere to be seen either. The day was hot and I was restless. I decided to head out. Okay, so it's saying to check the character sheet.
Yeah, look for your stuff.
See if it's updated anything. So we don't have... Okay.
So new. People were scared of my family. They didn't want to hear the name.
Yep.
All right.
And everybody... everybody's
analytical.
Yep. More than anything, we were analytical. All right. Bielichka was...
Oh, you can also check who your friends are.
Yeah, it's all the way down to the... Yep, there we go.
Okay, cautious.
Everybody is fucking scared of Maya.
Well, that's what it says, right?
Yeah, well, you know.
People were scared of my family.
Yeah.
They didn't want to hear my name.
And not just because I'm a tourist fucking rage monkey or nothing. Alright. Alright, so now we've got...
Oh, we did pick places and things?
Yeah, we got a map, yep. Mm-hmm. We can go to we can check out the town, or we can check out the forest. I think.
I guess we had two choices.
Yeah.
So I can't actually like scroll in or out or like do any other.
Do not Google Maps the fuck out of this, unfortunately.
Well, fuck, like forest. Like this is like I don't know where people are, but this is like what we dreamed about.
Well, what do we think here? I mean, I kind of think town, but that's. I mean, the forest is also definitely going to have some stuff.
We're gonna flip for it.
Okay.
Alright, brand up or down?
Brand up.
Alright. I win.
Okay. So what are we doing?
We should have established stakes before. Hold on, we can't... Right, chat? We can't, like, fuck this up that bad. Jeez. Okay, brand up or down?
Brand up. I'm gonna
okay, if you win...
He's flipping a lozenge here.
Yeah. Fisherman's friend.
Are they paying us? I'm just kidding.
Not right now.
Well, they might.
Alright, well, which one are you going for?
Brand up. What am I? Town.
Okay, so...
Brand up town.
Brand up town. Brand down forest.
Got it. He dropped it on the
floor. Son of a bitch. Alright. Well, we're going to town.
I'll try to bring like a cool coin next time for that.
Well, I got a bunch of them, but...
Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah.
We're going town. Oh,
all right, cool.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
You do have some cool coins. Yeah.
That's the deal.
All right. When I realized I had no idea where to go, I swallowed my pride and called for help. Bartek joined you.
Oh shit, we got Bartek! Look, he looks like Data.
He kind of
We're probably fine.
He's like Brent Spiner with a weird jaw.
And with a weird thing going down his nose.
We got like
what
they're leaves. They're leaves.
That's not a fucking leaf.
Yeah, it is.
That's like a little like round square.
Well, it's not crawling, so it's not a tick, man. It's got to be a leaf. All right. We walked through the village, bathed in the sharp rays of the summer sun. It was a lazy afternoon, disturbed only by the occasional passing car throwing up clouds of dust that hung in the air long after the vehicle was gone, just like where I grew up in the middle of nowhere. Children were screaming and playing as they made the most of their summer vacation. The adults were relaxing or working in their yards. Dogs were barking, and every cat we passed froze to look at us.
Again with the cat.
I noticed some unfriendly stares from people too. Not many, but enough to notice. I felt that they were looking specifically at me. Why the stares? Or I expected fewer stares.
So, choices. High rage.
Yep.
I felt like they were looking specifically at me. Middle. Why the stares? Or lower. I expected fewer stares.
I just want to comment real quick. I love that tower in the background. That is super cool with the flickering windows. That is really.
It looks like an old lighthouse. Honestly.
Yeah, and that like janky looking staircase on the outside that was clearly like put on there years after the structure was built. That's super.
It's like, oh yeah, we need another way up there in case of fire.
Handrails, damn it! Handrails, safety guidelines. All right, so what do we think? High rage. They were looking specifically at me?
Fuck yeah.
Right on.
What do you tell people about me? The stares made me snappy. Because they sure look like they know, that the girl from the Curse family is here. What? No?
What? No.
Bartek was dismayed. It's just people don't exactly love strangers here.
Xenophobic jerks. I was curious why. Yeah, tourists could be, and we're not doing that one.
No, we're not gonna get less
jerks.
mad right now.
They're jerks. I think they're jerks.
What's wrong with them? I threw my arms in the air. You see an unfamiliar face and immediately assume somebody's here to destroy their lifestyle. I think it's more nuanced than that. Bartek scratches his neck, embarrassed by the topic. There's a small conflict around the forest now, distracting some weird people. Activists, reporters, bored rich kids. People like that, and they're getting on the locals' nerves.
I nodded. It didn't explain the cats, though. Well, you're not one of the crazies, and you're like almost local, he smiled. So what would you like to see in the village of your ancestors? He spread his arms as if to show me all the splendor the village had to offer. What do you suggest?
I can show you the... Wait, that's the wrong stream.
Oh, man. All right, so now we've got the old cemetery, we've got the village center, and the abandoned railway.
Where are we now? The old cemetery?
Well, we can pick one of these now. We can pick which one we want to go to.
Oh, are we not in any of them?
We're not in any of them yet.
Fucking let's go to the village center.
Sure. New friends, hidden tensions.
Oh, look at his face. He's like, I don't know why I brought here. Nothing much happens here, said Bartek as we walked through the quiet village. Nothing moved. The heat was stifling.
So we've got... And I enjoyed the walk. We don't enjoy the walk.
No.
No.
Bored or really quiet?
Quaint. I could go either way on that one, honestly.
Bored.
Okay.
This place gives me flashbacks of my teenage years in the Midwest. I kicked an empty beer can down the road. I was bored and ready to start a fight.
And I was thirsty.
Let's get something to drink, I proposed. I'm parched. Local store was a large mini mart with all kinds of goods, from beer and vegetables to notebooks and pens. There's a bench near the entrance, and on it were a few local drunks.
Oh man. High rage, they looked like they wanted to start a fight, but when I stared them down, they just averted their eyes and pretended there was nothing to see other than their cheap alcohol. Ooh.
Fucking growl on them. Let's do it.
Well, let's see here. We gotta assess the threat, decide to tease them a bit, or growling at them. Okay.
If they are of us, they're lower quality.
See, now I'm...
Like, they already averted their eyes.
While we were on the break, I was telling Johnny that I think that the tribe of this particular werewolf is one that's native to, like, the Balkan region and, like, you know, like Eastern Europe, that being the Shadow Lord tribe. And they are super arrogant and warlike. So I'm thinking that's what she is, and that would honestly, like, that would work. I think either of the top two responses would work for that. Assessing the threat is, you know, if we want to go with the analytical side of the character, that would make sense too. But I could honestly, personally, I mean, we've been ultra rage the whole time. We've been dipping rage.
Why are we gonna assess?
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Go ahead.
Like, we're the fucking
at this point we're breaking.
We're the werewolf fucking
mores.
Champion. Yeah, fuck everything.
We're breaking social mores now, but fuck it, you know. Yeah.
I don't know what came over me, but I fixed my eyes in the meanest I could, bared my teeth and growled. Whoa, girl! The man jumped back and lifted his hands in conciliatory gesture. We meant no harm. Russ laughed uncomfortably. We spent some time inside browsing the
Latvian, Lithuanian, and Belarusian goods.
Yeah, those. Why was there almost nothing Polish here? And who in their right mind drinks coriander soda?
Gross.
I was putting the soda back on the shelf when we heard a commotion coming from the outside.
Loud voices. All right, so some slurs, some curses, and a clear, mockingly polite. I'm so sorry, darlings. I don't understand. Do you like my skirt? Ah, fuck. Bartek murmured under his breath.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Right, chat? We're in. Like, come on, look at our fucking stats. Like, this makes sense.
Yep.
Why does it not show our rage?
Did we get a... No, rage is right there, yeah. Oh. Okay.
Sorry, that's the wrong button.
It's okay.
Let's do this.
Yep.
Like, come on, we're not sitting this one out. Hey, Bartek, I said, pushing the items I picked into his hands. Pay for me, will you? I'll give you the money back in a minute. Oh, so she's going badass mode like, here, hold on.
Buy my coriander soda.
Before the poor guy had time to answer, I was outside. There's the trick. You do these things before people can react. And you can always say, but you didn't stop me. It was clear what was happening the moment I stepped outside. There was a bench. On the bench were the drunkards hurling obscenities, and right next to them was an awfully polite target of those obscenities.
They were definitely not.
The person was old. Not helpless granny old, but old. But with deep wrinkles and a narrow mouth. They had the unisex grace of a tired, heroin-preserved rock man. Their shoulder-length, disheveled hair completed the look. I'm gonna say it looked out of place.
Yeah, we don't really have any idea what Maya's inclinations are.
It looked like someone had teleported them here from a different planet. Had a clean shave and eyes highlighted with eyeliner. Their nails were painted in bright blue. They wore heavy armory boots, an outrageously red skirt, a tank top, and lots of leather jewelry. On their bag, there were pins. Lots of pins. All kinds of
LGBTQA plus flags.
Yes.
Anarchist and pacifist symbols.
Happy Pride Month, by the way, everybody.
Indeed. I think some German band stripes. All right.
Sorry, I suck at the acronyms. I'll get better.
It's cool. I was actually, I remember reading a little bit. There was like somebody had some backlash about this character specifically in the game, and I just want to go out of my way to state that, like, when you think about shapeshifters and you think about especially the kind of subcultural basis that the early World of Darkness through today has, this is totally in keeping with the way that this game has always been. So anybody that said, oh, they're putting this in now because it's woke or whatever, they're full of shit. This has always been here in the World of Darkness. The World of Darkness has always been a very queer-friendly universe in terms of your character creation options, as well as viable NPCs that show up in different supplements, all the way from the genesis of it all the way up through now.
As far as main protagonists being female and female, male and male, all that kind of stuff. Or unidentified.
Yep, exactly. I mean, you could argue, especially when you get into like vampires from the Nosferatu clan, I mean, they're
like, what are you? I don't know. Like, let's figure it out.
I got bit and then I turned into this, so fucking deal with it, So yeah, are we fighting?
But anyways, happy Pride Month.
Indeed.
So, I say we approach the drunkards.
Yeah, let's fuck them up. Alright. I zeroed in on the drunkards. What do you think you're doing? I asked in Polish. Because a sentence I've heard a lot as a child. Oh man, I don't know what that says.
It's probably
that is what do you think? Okay, so that's what do you think you're doing in Polish? They looked at me, surprised, didn't expect any intervention, and my appearance changed the dynamics of the scene. It was no longer a pack versus a lone stranger. Now it was a pack versus a pack. And who the hell are you? Asked the one who seemed to be the leader of the group. We gonna punch him or yell at him?
I'm pretty sure we fucking punch him. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah. I'm in 4th gear. I'm the girl who broke your nose, I answered with a grin. What? Punched him. Oh, man. Yeah, I like how they're working in the incidental music as well as like the nature sound effects. And then I broke his nose. Maya, shouted Bartek, running my way, but I ignored him. This wasn't my first rodeo. I got into fights all the time.
I feel like we should lean into it, honestly. Like,
yeah, fuck it.
It's kind of a thing.
That's what we're doing. Aggro Maya, they call her.
I loved getting into fights, actually. It was the only way I could really get my heart pumping. My body working. The adrenaline in my veins. And the enemy under my fist. It was a glorious feeling. The stranger in the red skirt also wasn't new to such situations. I could only admire the way they use their heavy armored boots.
So we got a choice here now, stat related. Are we gonna get cut up by broken bottles, or are we gonna do a willpower spend to beat their asses?
Why do we want to get cut up?
We don't. It's just, do you want to risk the health, or we don't. With we just answered my own question.
Fuck that noise.
No, okay.
That's you.
All right. The fight was brief and intense, but when we parted, there were a few black eyes and bleeding noses on their side. My arm was bleeding, slashed by a broken bottle. I'd call it a draw. But before anything serious could happen, there was a piercing, irritated shout.
It stopped us all in our tracks.
Anya, no.
Hey! Someone shouted suddenly from behind our backs. The voice was loud and piercing. There was something about it that made the men stop immediately. It made me pause as well. But the stranger in the red skirt seemed to stop out of politeness, not because of the power of the voice. I turned around.
The woman approaching us had the longest, thickest braids I'd ever seen, as thick as my arm. There was something faintly Asian about her facial features, and the men on the bench looked at her with deference. The fuck is going on here? Kim, are you insane? And you, she pointed her finger at the men, you should stop drinking that moonshine. It makes you pick fights you can't win.
I feel like character-wise, the top one's right.
Yeah.
But
the
otherwise, the bottom one's correct.
Yeah, they're both good. I mean, honestly,
I feel like stat-wise, we can't win. But we should fucking put up. Like, we've been super aggro the whole time.
Yeah.
We're not gonna fucking back down now.
Yeah, who the fuck are you? It's probably going to be the response if we do that. So yeah, let's do it. The portrait art is really, really nice too, I gotta say.
Yeah, like the audio work, everything is
This
super
is so
fantastic.
for being this kind of game. I think we're getting a lot of. I mean, I like the way it's they layer the images, and we have all these different little extras. It's very, very nice. Like I honestly, we should do this one. We should do the vampire ones.
Well, and like I feel like at least for me, right? So this game. Not on sale is like $15, so that's a good value for me for multiple endings, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly, and I think it's immersive. I think it's and it's a great way to also like if you are already kind of familiar with this stuff, it's a great way to get other people into it. To be like, wasn't that cool? Do you want to do this and make your own character? Or maybe it's just a gateway drug for you, where you're like, shit, this was great. Let's get us some werewolf books and let's go to town.
Right. And by the way, you can get them pretty cheap, like under $40 for like the beginner set.
Right. And we're seeing that a lot more now. Starter kits are becoming more and more of a thing with modern role-playing publishers.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, like off the top of my head, whether right now there is one for Werewolf, but there's stuff out there. And if nothing else, you can always get PDFs, you know, like on like Drive-Thru RPG and other sources. You can find that. So
yeah, you can get them on sources that we're not going to promote that are illegal, but you can get them on the internet.
Yeah.
Or you can get them usually download for free based on what you're looking for. So.
There's all kinds of ways to get this stuff. All right, so we fighting?
I think we're ready for a fight.
Right on.
I think we're gonna get our ass kicked, but we gotta step up.
We're just gonna get a stern talking to, probably.
I was sure the drunks would attack her, but they just slumped down. But look at this!
Iluznia?
I'm bad at these words.
Yeah. For the last fucking time, the name's Lisa. She pronounced it, Leszka. And this is my friend, and you're to leave them alone, got it? Her Polish sounded weird. More melodic, or maybe mellower. Even when she cursed, the drunkards mumbled and went back to drinking. Thanks, Lisa, Kim said in English. You shouldn't have. Oh, but I wanted to.
High rage. Just full of my fun.
I'm kind of the bottom was sort of intriguing to me too. Like, how did she command so much respect?
Correct, but character-wise,
we're okay. Yeah. All right.
we've been on high alert ever since.
Oh yeah.
She'll put us in our fucking place.
Fourth gear all the way.
Oh come on! It's such a buzzkill, I wrote. We're having fun. There's nothing fun about fighting weaklings.
Uh-oh.
She answered in English. She looked me up and down. And who would you be? I'm Maya. I came from the U.S. Oh, God, I hate that line. Oh, and you're here to protest the logging? She raised her eyebrows. Or just a tourist?
Logging in the national park?
Or to protest.
I kind of like the top one.
Alright, let's see what happens.
Wait, isn't this place like a national park, I asked? Why are they logging here? You'd think they'd leave the oldest forest on the continent, the beating heart of it, alone, wouldn't you? She looked at me with a grim expression. Wood is money, you know, she continued. Lots and lots of money. And there's enough wood here for some to justify illegal logging and the slaughter of the forest. Suddenly a feeling rushed over me. I was burning or I was cold? I was burning. No way. No cold.
Suddenly a feeling? Like what?
Yeah. Are we pissed or are we mortified? I think we're pissed. Burning.
Like we're not taking
we're
negative rage.
Yeah.
Fuck the noise. I couldn't see the forest from there, but suddenly I felt very aware of its presence. I felt something else deep in my stomach, threading through my veins. Anger, like a wave of heat, coming from the heart of a dark, ancient forest. A word appeared in my mind, a strange one that was neither Polish nor English. Galhira. Lisa looked me in the eyes and spat on the ground. I'd eat those greedy bastards alive. I noticed Kim watching me. I felt like I was being watched. When I looked up, I saw Kim observe me with a curious expression. We haven't been properly introduced, they said in a soft voice.
Yeah.
High rage, what do they want?
Yep.
What? I snapped. Looking at me in a funny way? I know you have strange dreams, they whispered. I suspect the force is reaching out to you. They lean closer. It runs in your blood. The words are like a punch to the gut. Trust me, I know.
I don't think the top response is in keeping with everything we've done so far. So I think the "Who was I" is the appropriate one. That's where I'm.
Yeah, at this point, like,
Yeah.
we give in, like, a little bit.
Well, the other thing about that, we're spending willpower to get success, though. That's the way that World of Darkness games work. So this is going to be good.
Who was I?
Who am I? Asked quietly. You're a warrior, they said, looking me in the eyes. You'll make it through in one piece. Suddenly, I felt good saying, "We got it right back." I felt a sudden surge of confidence. First world mystery. I wasn't making that up. There was something strange in my family history, and there were people who knew what was going on. Before I could ask more, Bartek approached and Kim shook their heads, silencing me. Meet us tomorrow at the logging site. They blew me a kiss and then put their arm around Lisa and walked away.
Is blowing them a kiss a thing in lore for werewolf?
Nothing specific, no.
Okay.
No, but I think Kim might be a werewolf. Or, well, no, I think Lisa definitely could be. Maybe Kim's like a freaking changeling or something. Alright, so we've done that. Do we do the graveyard or the
I can't
railway?
do anything so far.
Looking over my shoulder. I was saw this, so. Yeah, I think you picked the yellow text to pick the next thing we do. Like down. Yeah, there we go. Now we're graveyard. So we have quite a few churches here, Bartek explained as we walked down the road. 2 Orthodox, 1 Catholic, and even 1 Baptist church. He said as though we're something uncommon. And we've got.
Well, let's ask about it then. If it's uncommon, right?
Could do that, or
like, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
We're inquisitive. We're analytical.
Yes.
And what's so special about that? I wasn't sure what he meant. He looked at me a bit disoriented, then it hit him. Oh, of course. You're not from here. Well, Poland is almost exclusively Catholic. So it's a bit uncommon to have all these denominations in one small village. He led me to a cemetery with a small wooden church in the center. Anyway, even though we have all these churches, there's only one cemetery. The church was Orthodox. The graves were a mishmash of styles and faiths. Catholic, Orthodox, atheist, everyone resting together.
I should know that any of the graves are atheists, but hey, never mind. Okay.
Oh, so Bartek said not, she said.
Yeah. This reminded me of a forest, or it looked like he didn't approve.
Let's not get less angry, fuck it.
No. That works. I like that. It's like in the forest, I said, looking at the spruces growing among the graves. It's full of death. What's fallen stays where it fell. There's all kinds of trees, bushes and animals, and life is growing out of it all.
Just so you know, this mic's super effective. So this picks it up like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you just want to do like some ASMR stuff, I
don't know if I'm like a Gen Xer. I don't even really know what that is. Anyway, no, I do, but I like to make age jokes at my own expense. Anyway, Bartek didn't look convinced. Yeah, maybe. He looked at the cemetery, and for a moment he seemed lost in his thoughts. All of my family lies here, he said. I mean, the ones that are all dead. Hey, what do you think? What do you think happens when you die? I rage. I don't believe in all that religious crap. Only memory remained, or I hope for high rage. Come on. Blah, blah, dude nailed to a thing.
can't believe in all the religious crap.
Yeah. Ooh.
Nothing. Religion is just as much as superstitious crap for stupid people. That was why my mom taught me, and at that moment I believed it completely. Bartek looked at me hurt. Hey, that's people's beliefs you're talking about. Well, they're stupid beliefs. He looked over the cemetery fence. Well, anyway, this is it, the spiritual heart of Valuisia. We can go see something else if you like. So that's where we stood. I wanted to go in, and that asshole stood in my way. High rage. What's he playing at?
Yep.
What's he blocking us from? We're gonna try not to murder you. The fuck, dude? We're here to find my ancestors. I don't know if that's a good idea.
He was hiding something. You found it. My family's grave. Maybe? I just looked at him for a moment.
Show me! I demanded. He sulked a bit, but in the end, he led me through labyrinths of graves to the far end of the cemetery. We walked through narrow walkways between the graves. Bartek's pace was painfully slow, but I had no choice but to follow him, gritting my teeth and cursing under my breath as he stopped every few steps and looked around. At one point, he threw me a condemning look. We're in a graveyard, Maya. Have some respect, will you? Before I had a chance to answer, we saw a woman, tall, broad-shouldered, and long-legged. Gray dreadlocks pinned to the crown of her head. Must have been in her late 40s or early 50s. She was marching through the walk with a fury in her eyes. Bartek quickly stepped between the graves to get out of her way.
You stare her down, or do we walk on? So it's a willpower spend if we don't move.
Keep going rage.
Either way is going to further the story.
Keep going rage.
Why not?
That's you.
I just kept going. She just kept going, and inevitably we bumped into each other. Hey, watch your fucking steps, she growled. I snapped back.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Fuck off. You watch your fucking step. She snorted and weighed me up. Kids, she mumbled and shrugged. Well, at least you're able to speak up for yourself.
We?
Yeah, why not?
Why is it we, though?
Because Maya's going to talk to her. We chatted for a while, and I decided to ask for directions. Actually, I'm looking for an old grave, I said. My family lived here, and what's the name? Borodich. I answered with a perfect Polish accent.
Sorry, we don't have Polish accents.
Yeah, young Borodichna, she said. She used an antiquated feminine form of the name. She shook her head. I'm just coming back from there. Go to the end of here, turn left, and go to the far corner of the wall. She looked at me in a funny way.
Did we just meet her mom?
No, her mom's in America, so this is probably like an auntie.
Problem or thank her? I mean, at this point, I'd be like, alright, cool. Like, we already asked her.
Yeah.
Like, cool, thanks, lady.
We occasionally have manners.
Oh, thank you. Bartek didn't seem to know the
Bartek didn't seem
Yeah, throw him under the fucking bus.
Bartek.
Get under the bus.
You were there. I think it's only then that she noticed him. Oh, it's you, she said, barely hidden disdain. Well, I'd better be going. See you around, I guess. And with that, she left, followed by Bartek's hostile gaze.
We gotta fucking ask Bartek.
Yeah, what the fuck is her deal?
Like, what's going on here, bud? What was that? I asked, watching the woman leave. Bartek winced. Oh, that's Olga. She's a local activist. She left B when she was 18 or something and returned a few years back in the notion that she was going to change the place. We changed the far corner of the cemetery. Their seemingly forgotten covered moss was a lonely grave.
It was damaged. The tombstone was broken deliberately. Someone had obviously smashed it with a hammer. The name was half erased. The plaque was also damaged. Someone had tried to scratch out the name, but the letters were still visible. There was a circle of coarse salt around the grave. I'm sorry, Bartek sighed. I didn't want you to see that.
Angry rage.
Oh, yeah.
But superstitious bullshit! For fuck's sake! I guess it happens once a month or so, around the full moon. Bartek put his hands in his pockets. So
werewolves don't rise out of graves.
You
That's
don't
not
know
how that
anything
works.
about your dad's side of the family, he asked me. Whatever happened, whatever, at least 70 years ago, and someone still remembers. Angry. Angry.
Yeah.
Nobody's giving us any reason to not be angry, which is weird. Remember what? I pushed him. These people have been dead for almost 100 years. They fucking harm they could have done is 6 feet underground. Hey, he yelled. Are you insane? I haven't done anything for fuck's sake. Straighten his t-shirt. Let's go. I shouldn't have brought you this here in the first place.
We should look at the grave.
Think we're gonna. I looked at the grave for the first time. My family's name looked strange, written in the unfamiliar Belarusian letters. As we were leaving, I was definitely thinking I was onto something.
Belarusian letters, that would have been Cyrillic, I bet.
There's something unnatural about my family, and me coming to be had stirred some old demons. I decided to find out what my ancestors were doing there, who they were. With that thought, I left the cemetery.
So now we've got the railway. Yep. Then the railway.
Alright, that was excellent. But with that, I think we're gonna leave you hanging for tonight.
All right.
So, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a guest.
Awesome. Yeah, I enjoyed it. This was super cool.
And you want to do shout out to your other channels, your other setups?
I don't have any other channels really. I mean,
You don't broadcast on the radio?
well, I do that, but I mean, yeah, I am on KMSU, which is a radio station based out of Mankato, Minnesota.
People can join into that online.
Yeah, it's you can go to kmsu.org. I'm on from 9 to midnight Central Time. It's an extreme metal radio show with stuff from all over the world. It's looking like it's going to be mostly a black metal week next Friday, so we'll see how that all takes shape. I change my mind pretty fast sometimes, but that's something else that you can check out as well. The show's called Here There Be Dragons.
Alright, well, thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for joining us. We had a great time, and thanks for joining in.
We'll be
and
back.
remember, until next time, remember, stay nerdy.